What's going on YouTube? Diggy546. I'm gonna make this video. Man, listen. First off, I just want to say never, ever, 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 ever doubt Tom Brady. Never doubt Tom Brady. You never do it. Listen, the dude this was his 10th Super Bowl appearance. His 7th Super Bowl win. Why would you bet against him? I really feel bad for the people who really had the nerve to go out and put money on Tom Brady to lose a game, to lose a Super Bowl. It's like he's batting 70%. And like, listen, Patrick Mahomes is going to be a good quarterback. He's going to be a great quarterback for a long time. But he crumbled today. He crumbled under the pressure of Tom Brady. He crumbled under the pressure of having to compete with a dynasty. Like a serious, I mean, Tom Brady by himself is a dynasty. Yeah, he switched teams. There's no Bill Belichick, but Tom Brady's still hoisting that trophy. Like, I just don't get it. How people constantly pick against Tom Brady. I'm a Giants fan. This isn't my favorite player in the league, but I have common sense. You don't pick against Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. And I mean, for people who did it for fun, sure. You know, you just were wrong, you ate crow, whatever. But the people who put money on it, man, I feel bad for you. I really do. And I feel really bad for people who put money on the Gatorade bath because they still haven't shown us what color the Gatorade is. Why don't they show us what color the Gatorade is so we can see, you know, if we want some money? But back on topic, listen. First off, the Bucs came out running the ball. The Bucs came out really able to run the football. They came out and their offensive line won at running. They won at passing. There was no pressure on Tom Brady. And when I said there's no pressure on Tom Brady, when I saw that, I said there's no way that the Bucs are losing this game. You don't pressure Tom Brady, you're not winning. So what the Chiefs are going to do this offseason is probably something dramatic to get a pass rusher in there that's really going to make a difference, probably on the edge, because Chris Jones and Frank Clark were non-existent. They were non-existent. Chris Jones made a couple plays in the run game, and, you know, he wasn't really blocked one-on-one in the run game. But as far as the pass rush is non-existent. I think Tom maybe got sacked twice, 7 Super Bowls, man. I'm looking at it now, and this is his 5th Super Bowl MVP. Like, it's ridiculous, man. It's really ridiculous. 5 Super Bowl MVPs, 7 Super Bowls. I think he's got a couple. If he goes deep into the playoffs next year, he's going to have the most wins against an NFC team, against NFC teams in the playoffs of all time. And this is someone who played in the AFC for 20 years, and the only reason he's getting close to this is because he won so many Super Bowls. So Tom Brady is once again proving that he's just transcended football. He's above all of this. He's above. I just don't get it, man. I don't get how someone could be this dominant over this long, and he's 43 years old. He's 43 years old. And congrats to Tom Brady. Congrats to all of the Buccaneers players. Congrats to the Buccaneers fans who had to deal with everything they had to deal with for all these years. And now they get to see their team in a Super Bowl. Congrats to Devin White, who showed up for LSU. Shout out to Devin White. Shout out to Leonard Fournette. Clyde had a nice game on the other side. But, you know, it is what it is. He ended up losing. As far as Patrick Mahomes, I didn't want to talk too much about him. Listen, he didn't show up. He didn't show up. And sure, you can make the argument his offensive line was kind of leaky today. That's all fine and good. That's all well. But Mahomes didn't show up. Now, he had a couple drops. He had some times where his offensive line didn't come through. But listen, as a Giants fan who's watched Eli Manning, who's watched Giants fans and other fans kill Eli Manning, who's watched Daniel Jones, who's watched a lot of quarterbacks over the years and me just watching football. Your offensive line doesn't protect. Your receivers are dropping passes. You know what everybody says? Oh, he's just supposed to make it happen. He has to make it happen. You know, he's got to just rise above that. That's what the great quarterbacks do. Well, Patrick Mahomes didn't rise above that. He didn't make things happen. He didn't score a single touchdown. Yes, there were flags on the other side that may have been questionable. Some of them were legit. People were crying about it. Yes, there were flags on the other side. But that has nothing to do with the fact that the Chiefs continued to have to punt the ball, turn the ball over on downs, because they just couldn't get clicking. Yes, there was a pass rush, but also sometimes Mahomes just missed people wide open, just was inaccurate, and he needs to be held accountable. You're calling him the GOAT. You're calling him the next GOAT, the guy who's going to be the best ever. He's got to be held accountable for this. Now, if he comes back next year and, he comes back and bounces back, that's one thing. But for right now, he played one-on-one. He went against the GOAT head-to-head, and he lost. And this is his second time losing to the GOAT in the playoffs. And he had some injuries on the line, but you got to make it happen. That's what people tell me about Daniel Jones. That's what people told me about Eli. So you got to make it happen. He made entirely too many mistakes as far as inaccuracy early on in the game, and then it kind of got out of hand, and they were able to pin their ears back. JPP and Shaq Barrett and even Vita Vea were able to really collapse the pocket. So, yeah, the Chiefs offense as a whole really struggled. They really didn't match up to what people thought they would. And that's just what happens. That's just what happens when you play against someone who's the GOAT. That's a lot of pressure playing against someone like that, and that Chiefs offense wasn't necessarily ready. The Chiefs defense came out to play early on, but they're used to their offense. The Chiefs defense get a goal line stand. Their offense is doing something with that. And they didn't do anything the entire game. No touchdowns. 3 field goals. So I just think that Tom Brady is just he's an unstoppable force. And Mahomes is a freak of nature, but it didn't really matter in this situation. It really didn't. Because this dude, Tom Brady, is just off the chain, man. I just can't. There's no way in good conscience that I looked at this game and I said that Tom Brady, if he loses, he loses. But to go out and predict that he loses, that's kind of a stretch. So he connected with Gronk. He connected with AB. And, he really just, after that, just let Leonard Fournette take care of a lot of things. And at that point, it was out of control. Tyrann Mathieu ran his mouth. I like Tyrann Mathieu, but he kind of went back and forth with Tom Brady. And you don't really want to motivate a guy like that. You really don't. And he kind of went after him. I think he gave up that first touchdown to Gronk, if I'm not sure. He definitely gave up that interference. And then after that, he gave up that touchdown to AB. So him, chirping at Tom Brady, talking trash to Tom Brady, ended up not working out that well for him. And, like I said, I like the Honey Badger, but this particular time, he kind of made a bad decision. Because right after that, as soon as he started talking trash with Tom Brady, is when the floodgates opened for the defense. And like I said, to end this video off, I already talked about it. Congrats to all of the Bucs fans and to all the Bucs players. Like I see Ryan Jensen on the ground with his son celebrating. These guys never thought they would win a Super Bowl. They really didn't. Levante David has been a great player for so many years. He never thought he was going to go to a Super Bowl. Like, these are players that now have gotten their careers elevated by Tom Brady. Tom Brady has elevated another franchise, another set of players to probably, if he does this next year, Levante David is going to be considered a Hall of Fame player. He goes from, borderline to, someone who he might already be considered a Hall of Fame player. So it's just amazing what this dude continues to do. It really is. And just all the props in the world to Tom Brady. And on the Bucs defense, they really showed up today. They really did. But you guys let me know what you think of this Super Bowl this time around. This wasn't the most exciting Super Bowl as far as competitiveness, but it was just so satisfying for me to see, because I saw a lot of Tom Brady hate over the last couple of weeks, over the last year. People predicting him not to go to the playoffs, And this is what you get. This is just what happens. I'm out.